Hello there, let's talk about the Acolyte trailer. You can already go back and watch my reaction for it and a little breakdown on who the new characters are. Those videos will be linked down in the description below. So this is just going to be sort of going through it and pointing out some fun things. One thing I really like about this is how we get a nice little callback to the original Star Wars, when Master Soul teaches the younglings, your eyes can deceive you, don't trust them.
Close your eyes. Your eyes can deceive you. We must not trust them.
This is one of the very first lessons that Obi-Wan gave to Luke Skywalker on the Millennium Falcon in the original Star Wars movie. Nice to hear some familiar words.
With the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
Also, a lot of us are really big fans of this little Jedi youngling at the start. He is a species called a Tarsant. So one cool thing that the Acolyte looks like it could be doing is time jumping or flashbacks, because here and there throughout this trailer, Jedi Master Soul has some pretty different hairstyles in some different shots. So it does look like this is potentially the flashback with all of these Jedi here, because this looks like a younger hairstyle than he has later on. So it'll be interesting to see the way that plays out, and if the show is going to be doing regular flashbacks or if it's going to be sort of a one-off sort of thing. I do wonder if we're going to have like two stories going on in two different time periods as it jumps back and forth. That could be interesting, but yeah, we'll find out in June. Now, is this ahch-to? Because it really does look like, is it Skellig Michael Island where they filmed the ahch-to scenes? I do wonder if they are returning to the planet ahch-to, because now in the lore, ahch-to is the home of the first Jedi Temple, built almost 25,000 years ago. I do wonder if this will be further explored in James Mangold's movie about the dawning of the Force, because they were like, hey, let's do a movie set thousands and thousands of years ago. Just something to note. I think it could be ahch-to. Now, as for this guy, for the time being, I'm choosing to believe that May is the titular Acolyte, a follower of the Sith, but not a Sith herself, and she is doing the bidding of this guy, who will be a Sith Lord. Now, for the era that they're in, 100 years before the Phantom Menace, Darth Tenebrous is very likely, possibly Plagueis as well, but being 100 years before the Phantom Menace, I feel like maybe Tenebrous would be the more likely of the two, but that being said, Plagueis has the name recognition, so I'm not really sure. It could be both, honestly. And I think there's also Venomous, I think, from the Plagueis novel as well, is around in this time period. So whether all of them are going to be brought in, because I don't think Venomous is technically canon yet, but I'm pretty sure Plagueis and Tenebrous are. I'm not sure. But my money is on one of these two or one of those three potentially appearing, but also even odds that none of them appear in the show. I also keep hearing people with the red lightsaber at the end saying that, oh, this breaks canon because Ki-Adi-Mundi said they haven't seen a Jedi. I've already done a whole video on that. I just think that this is going to be the Acolyte. You know, it could be one of the Sith Lords, but I think it's going to be the Acolyte, therefore I think it's probably going to be May. And an Acolyte being a follower, someone who is not completely a Sith themselves. So yeah, I think that kind of tracks, and I also think the Black Series figures gives us a hint for that as well, where hers is called the Assassin, May Assassin, so I feel like later on we'll get one as like May Acolyte, Sith Acolyte or something like that. That's just my prediction anyway. Now we get Vernestra Rwoh in this trailer. Now Vern has appeared in a lot of the High Republic novels, namely A Test of Courage, Race to Crash Point Tower, Out of the Shadows, and most recently Defy the Storm. She's popped up in the comics as well, but these are the main appearances for her off the top of my head. She's a big fan favourite. Now Vern is a Miri Allen Jedi who was around 16 or 17 in the books currently. She became a Jedi Knight at 15. She is something as a prodigy as she modified her lightsaber to be able to switch between a traditional saber and a light whip. It's a lot of fun to me. I like different lightsaber designs, and I know some people will just automatically hate this, but I also don't want to hear all this breaking canon crap as well, because light whips have been around in Legends and the EU for a long time before this. Now Wikipedia puts Vern at being born around 248 BBY, and that puts the Acolyte at around 132 BBY. So Vern at this point in her life is around 116 years old. Insight into a Miri Allen lifespan, I'm cool with it. Speaking of long lifespans, there was another shot later on where I think we can see a Keldor Jedi from the back. Looks like it to me anyway. Now, Keldor in Legends in the EU anyway, had a really long lifespan, because I think Plo Koon was around for something like 400 years. So potentially, is this a young Plo Koon? That would be pretty cool, because my two favorite Jedi from the Clone Wars era is Plo Koon and Kit Fisto, so seeing one of them again in live action would be a sweet treat for me personally. It will probably end up just being another Jedi. I don't know if they're going to go too heavy on the fan service and cameos in this show. I do know that Leslie Headland is a big fan of Legends and EU material, and that she wants to put some of that stuff into this show, so it could be really cool, but I'm hoping it's Plo Koon, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not either. And that's about it in terms of things that I could like really point out and talk about. I don't know, I'm just excited for this show. I do like that we are getting the Wookiee Jedi Kelnacca. There is a Wookiee Jedi in the High Republic books called Buriaga, who is just great. He's another fan favorite. And there's another one called, I think it's Master Arkoff in the manga series. So seeing a Wookiee Jedi in live action is going to be very, very cool. I really, really hope we do see a Wookiee with a lightsaber absolutely wrecking people like we saw Chewbacca do in the Han Solo movie. I would personally like that, and that would be another sweet treat for me. I would very much enjoy that. But yeah, that's about it. I'm excited to see Coruscant. I'm excited to see the Jedi Temple again, hundreds of years though before the prequels. I think that'll be really fun and cool. I'm just excited to see more weird places we know, new places, and I'm honestly just excited to go to an era in live action that we haven't been before. That is the most exciting thing of all to me, and I just can't wait to see a bunch of Jedi. I can't wait to see a bunch of Jedi get killed, because we know that someone's hunting down these Jedi. I am very, very excited for the Acolyte, and I think it looks fantastic. And yeah, June 2nd, June 4th, I can't remember the actual date, 2-episode premiere though, and yeah. I'll be talking about it more as we get closer. If you like this and you like talking about Star Wars and being positive about Star Wars, make sure you follow me here. And yeah, thank you for watching. May the Force be with you. Always.